Hello, once again, wherever you are on this extinguished planet of ours called Earth, I wish you increasing blessings and happiness wherever you are. I just now finished watching a video about Thor, Love, and Thunder, and to present it, he made a quick comment about when comic book characters dead. And he mentioned, out of all the comic book characters who died, there is one person who stayed dead. From what I know. Now, I said I've been reading comic about 3 decades, but I haven't been reading for the last 10 years. So I don't know if he ever came back to life. But I believe when he died, he stayed dead. Now, I think sometime in the comic book, there were false version of him. Like a clone here or there. A clone made of him. But the original person stayed dead. Do you all have any idea who I may be referring to? Now, the person doesn't have no superpowers, so that give you a clue right there. He doesn't have no superpowers. He's not 20 years old. He's not a main character. He's a supporting character. But anyway, I'm going to stop running down this little quiz session. Uncle Ben from our beloved Spider-Man comic universe. As far as I know. Now, if I'm wrong, you can give me thumbs up, and you can leave a comment in the comment section. In addition to leaving the thumbs up in the comment section, you can subscribe to my channel for future things I may talk about on comic book issues. But Uncle Ben, as far as I know, the one and only Ben who died in the 1960s, that guy has never returned back to life. And you know, my good people, now I will admit, I guess the Marvel comic started within, I believe, 1960s, definitely 1960s. I'm not too sure when DC Comics started. Did it start in the 30s with Superman or someone else? But I'm just going to estimate. I could be wrong.
Turn left on Tuckahoe
If I'm
Road.
wrong, please leave in the comments section, when did DC Comics become an established company? I know before they became DC, they had another title. But hey, I don't have my research blog open. I'm just talking on my phone. So while I'm making this recording, I can't do no research. I got to talk. But anyway, but you all know, Benjamin Parker is the only one who never came back to life. Now, I was trying to state earlier, I will admit, comic book, it did suffer. It did have especially in its infancy, a 30-year or probably a 40-year period. I guess with Marvel, you can say a 20-year period when a comic book character stayed dead. They was dead. Done. I remember when Jean Grey died in the 1980s. They kept her dead for a good 10 years before she returned in the Avengers comic books and X Factor. They gave her a lame way of coming back again. They said the Jean Grey and the X-Men was a clone, and the original Jean Grey was hibernating. The Phoenix Force put the original Jean Grey in the ship. She was in a cocoon, and when the plane crashed, she was still in that cocoon. Cause y'all remember when the Phoenix was born. I never had the comic books with the original when Jean Grey became the Phoenix. I just remember the cover. When the Phoenix burst out the water, powerful like. So in that same ship that got sent into the ocean, Jean Grey was in a cocoon, and a clone, which was the Phoenix Force, burst from the water triumphant. Now, in addition to Jean Grey, other notable characters who died was like Captain Marvel. I think he was one of the first Marvel characters who died. I'm not too sure. It was either him or Jean Grey or Captain Marvel. But they did try to bring him back again, I believe in the 2000s. But I guess he wasn't a fan hit. So they dumped him again and made him die again. You all know about the legendary death of Superman. That only lasted for about a good 2 or 3 years. Superman died. Jean Grey died. I don't think Dora ever died. But I can think of another. But since I'm making this video, I don't recall. But it was enough of them. Spider-Man died. I remember back in the 80s, he got bribed by Kraven the Hunter. He got put in an actual grave. And it looked like he was dead. Also, Spider-Man allegedly died when Dr. Octopus switched their bodies or switched their minds and became the superior Spider-Man. Peter Parker's body didn't die, but his mind, his essence got switched to Octavius Octopus, and his body died. Then, Peter Parker probably really did die. He really did die. He died with Dr. Octavius Octopus inside of Peter Parker's body, and that superior Spider-Man. Listen, it was a remnant of Peter Parker's soul, a remnant of his memories gained strength in Octopus's body. So technically, Peter Parker got thrown into Octavius' body, where that body crumpled, weary, and tore, died. Now, I want to see what other characters who died, but y'all can let me know. I just can think of Jean Grey, Captain Marvel, oh yes, Wolverine. Now, I don't know how many times Wolverine got killed. He died many times. And now that I'm talking to you all too, I remember Professor Xavier. He died multiple times. And I got the first edition when he died. He got changed into one of those brood creatures. You know, the brood, them insect-like creatures that Captain Marvel, a.k.a. Binary, used to fight in space all the time. Them little brood creatures that lived in like a living whale creature. Professor Xavier, he died a horrendous death because his body got changed into an actual brood. And his mind was inside that brood. So it was no coming back from that. His whole body, his DNA got transformed to a brood, and he was stuck in that body. And I think they made a clone of him. Yes, y'all know the idea, a clone. And I believe they transfer his mind. You know, that's such a comic book cliche, transferring your mind from one body to the other. I guess it's not just a comic book cliche too, because they usually do that tired thing in the old B-level 1940s black and white movie, like on the Twilight Zone and the Outer Limit. Switch one mind into another person's body. They even make dumb Hollywood movies like that. I believe Jamie Lee Curtis was one of them type of movies where she switched her mind for a young woman. Yeah. So anyway, Professor Xavier, he was transformed into a brood, and his mind got placed back into his body. And when he got placed into that new body, he could walk again. But he couldn't walk because he still had the trauma in his mind that he could not walk. Then after that, they start killing Professor Xavier like crazy. you know I'm telling the truth. He was very expendable. I remember the most recent time he died when he got slaughtered by that Phoenix 5 with Cyclops, the White Queen, Cyclops, Colossus. List goes on. When all those 5 had the Phoenix Force, Cyclops uses Phoenix Force power to slay poor Professor Xavier's life again. So I guess that's his fate in Marvel Comics. Every 5 years or so, they say, hey, let's kill Charles Xavier. Let's get him out of the picture for a while. But like I stated earlier, my good people. I was thinking about Gwen Stacy, but I can't even say Gwen Stacy stayed dead. Because I remember several years ago, one form or another, they made a Gwen Stacy come back to life to mess up Peter Parker's life. So even she don't stay dead. But Uncle Ben, may he rest in peace, For the most part, he stayed dead. And I know why. Because what can he do in Spider-Man's life anyway? Gwen Stacy was a romantic interest. If she come back to life, they add more romantic interest in Spider-Man's life. If they bring back good old Uncle Ben, that's not no romantic interest of Spider-Man. He's no different than Aunt May. And you know Aunt May, she never cried an entire book. All the time I've read Spider-Man, Aunt May may be off 2 or 3 pages, then she's gone. So that's why they keep Uncle Ben alive. And then, here's the real reason why they may keep him alive. Because if they bring Uncle Ben back alive, then that quote Spider-Man loved to say, that the movies love to say, and you know that quote from Spider-Man. They especially use that quote. They especially wore that quote out in the Tobey Maguire movies. With great power comes great responsibility. I think that was the last line Uncle Ben told Peter Parker in that Sam Raimi first Spider-Man movie. With great power comes great responsibility. If they brought Uncle Ben back to life, for all you know, my good people, Spider-Man could go back being a cocky, arrogant person like he was when Uncle Ben was alive. So that's why they gotta keep him dead. You gotta find a way to keep Spider-Man humble. If Uncle Ben was permanently brought back to life, then Spider-Man don't have no reason to fight for the common guy anymore. He just another super person with powers, etc. That's my take on Uncle Ben, why he's not alive, and why he's one of the few characters, when he died, he stayed dead. If you like my comments, give me a thumbs up. If you would like to subscribe to the channel where I talk about my comic book characters, please subscribe. If you would like to share this to other comic book readers, be my guest. Thank you. And until the next time.